Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, hit like, hit subscribe. We have some goals on this channel to get our likes up high, so do me a favor, hit that like button if you enjoy content from me. And if you're not yet a subscriber, we have goals related to that. Hit the subscribe button. Literally every subscription counts. Now, on memberships, we're doing pretty good. 20 more memberships, and we're going to have some private classes, private rooms where we're going to do some intimate things, some fun things together. If that's something that you want to join, hit that join button down below. But today, we're going to be talking about Arcade1up, the things that they're doing right and the things that they're doing wrong. Hey, Dreamcast Kyle, thanks for joining. He says he always hits the like button. So we will be I want to hear from you guys in the audience. So I have two keywords today. Write a sentence that has the word right in it, and have a sentence that uses the word wrong. Either one of those is going to be picked up by the tool. But I'll go first. I'll talk about some of the things that I think Arcade1up is doing right, and some of the things that I think Arcade1up is doing wrong. So first, let's talk about the great titles. It's basically what Arcade1up is very unique at. Great titles, great artwork, and as of late, sometimes they have good emulation. Early on, I don't think their emulation was that great, but I'm going to say they have great emulation at this point. Think of the cabinets like Star Wars, Outrun, the 4-player cabinets. These are very unique designs, and they keep innovating, and I think it's really good. Think of the live gameplay that they put on a lot of the newer cabinets. This is something that they are doing right, like NBA Jam, X-Men versus Street Fighter, Marvel versus Capcom. They have various adjusting prices, right? So you can get into the market with a countercade for only like $99, right? Maybe you want to get a partycade for like $200. That's actually a really good deal because it's a 17-inch monitor, just like their 3/4 scale cabinets. And I think the partycades are actually really cool. You can hang them on the wall, or you can hang them on your door. You could actually, I don't know if anyone actually does this. You could put it on a tabletop. I think that looks kind of funny. But the price is right. But the price wasn't always right. The price was actually more expensive on the countercades and the partycades originally, but they adjusted the size. They readjusted the manufacturing process, and I think they did something right when they did that, because they got that price point just right where a lot of people ended up picking them up for, it was a pretty good deal. Infinity Game Cable, I'm still neutral on whether or not that's a good thing or not, but they're innovating and they're doing something very, very unique. At CES this year, they engaged with the audience, which I think it was really cool. I got to participate in and trying to get feedback, but I think it hasn't yet been fully heard. So I want to break it down, what I think they're doing right, what I think they're doing wrong, as a way. See if you guys agree with me on this one. So the very first Centipede arcade cabinet, we're going to look at all these different cabinets here and go through it. I'm going to be mean just for a second. I'm going to say the word cookie cutter as a way to describe the thing they're doing wrong. We'll give them a pass because the first generation, they were very new. Hindsight's 2020. We're looking back and like, yeah, of course they could have made it better. But look at it. Cookie cutter, cookie cutter, cookie cutter, cookie cutter. Now, maybe you love these cabinets, but I still think for the future, this is something that they're doing wrong. They need to eliminate the idea that the cabinet looks like an Arcade1up cabinet. And we're going to get to the point in just a second. Look at the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle cabinet. Although it's a 4-player cabinet, still they were doing something wrong and had that original shape that looked like an Arcade1up cabinet. We are not nostalgic for the Arcade1up shape. We're nostalgic for the original shape. The other mistake that they made on the Turtles cabinet is it didn't come with a light-up marquee. All the other cabinets that had a riser since then have a light-up marquee. And I think they understood that mistake, and hopefully they won't make it again. Look at these other cabinets. Okay, Marvel Superheroes, they did something right. They tried something new. They went with Sanwa sticks. But what they're doing wrong is they haven't tried it again. They haven't done it again. Look at Star Wars. Now they did something right. A unique control panel, a unique look, a unique seat. Like, this is cool. Them thinking outside the box and giving us something awesome. You are doing something right with this cabinet. Arcade1up NBA Jam. Okay, fine. You made it online, but it was cookie cutter. It was, okay, cool. 4-player controller. But looking back, if you were to repeat this same process again, you are doing something wrong. Pac-Man 40th Anniversary Edition. I'm going to give you a pass on this one. You went with a new shape, and that's positive. And later you came out with games that have 12, and I don't know, maybe that was you just learning that people want more games, or Legacy, you're just trying to come out with something different. I don't know. Star Wars, okay. Star Wars, you're doing something right. To this day, this is one of my favorite cabinets on it. Unique gameplay, unique shape. It looks so great. It's awesome. It's fun to play. Great emulation. They hit this one out of the park. You are doing something right, Arcade1up, when it comes to the Star Wars home arcade game. Buck Hunter, I think you're doing something right. I don't own this, but look at it. They're using send-in technology. They're using unique controls, something that's very unique to this cabinet. The shape and the look and the feel is very unique. Again, it looks more similar to the original Buck Hunter than some of those cookie cutter cabinets did to their original cabinets. X-Men versus Street Fighter, okay, fine, it's live, but it's cookie cutter. Miss Pac-Man, okay, it's better than the original Pac-Man, so okay, this is a good direction. Golden Axe, okay, I'm gonna give you a pass on this one. Golden Axe, they showcase the #1 game as Golden Axe: The Revenge of Death Adder, which is a game that wasn't re-released on like other consoles or something like that. It was a great way to highlight a great game, make it the top marquee. For that one, I'm gonna give you a pass. You did something right there. Burger Time, okay, originally this was going to be a Karate Champ. You're doing something right because the Burger Time arcade cabinet has a unique shape. Look at the little mushroom flower thing at the top. That is cool. You're doing something right. We're going to jump over to the Capcom Legacy Edition cabinet. You are doing something wrong, Arcade1up. There has been so many complaints about the Capcom Legacy Edition. Now, there's a lot of people that got this, and I didn't pick it up, but there's a lot of people got it and they love it. I'm not trying to upset you, but we all agree that there are some problems with it. They're fixable. We'll talk about it. So a lot of people are saying that their hand gets really cramped and doesn't feel good because it has to rest on the ledge of the side art. The control deck actually sits below it. And then some people are putting foam underneath it so that it's level. They should not have to do that. That was a mistake. You shouldn't make that mistake again. The line of sight issues, you are doing something wrong. I don't know if the cabinet wasn't physically tested. Like your gameplay, everyone's loving the emulation. Like you have a QA team that is making sure that all the integrations with all the games are working perfectly. And they're probably putting up a jig, setting it up and testing it out. It's great. Everybody loves it. But the actual cabinet was physically designed in a way where people are saying, I heard from one person, he's 5'8" and he can't see the score of Street Fighter. You're doing something wrong. Go back to the drawing board, get the shape right, but don't make it look cookie cutter and fix the line of sight issues. When you fix the line of sight issues, now you're doing something right. Okay, so the Legacy Edition, this is yet again another cabaret style. They've done it with Miss Pac-Man. They did it with the 40th anniversary. This one has 12 games. Not going to say anything negative about this Pac-Man machine. It is one that I think I might end up getting to replace the other cabinets that I have. I'm neutral on that one. Here we go. Atari Legacy Edition. This cabinet needs to be the new standard. Arcade1up, you are doing something right. There is almost no complaints about the Atari Legacy Edition. Let me tell you why. The artwork flows. It looks beautiful. It's a unique design, has unique control panels, and the marquee has no line of sight issues. Tell me something that's wrong with this cabinet. Anyone in the chat, what is wrong with the Atari Legacy Edition? I can tell you what they could have done to make it better, but I'm not really sure if there's anything really wrong based on all the conversations that we had up to this point. Where they did something right, they did something wrong. This should be the new standard. Now, I'm sure there's someone nitpicky out there that could find one thing or a few things wrong with this, but for the most part, it's really good. I'm tempted to get it. One of the things that I think they should do is that should have been a molded coin door. If you don't want a coin door and you're going to put art over it, you just flip it over on the other side, and then you can put your artwork on the opposite side. But the coin door, what would be really cool is if the coin door was molded and it actually worked. When I have friends come over to my house to play the Arcade1up cabinets and they're new to Arcade1up, they assume there's like some coin you have to enter. They kind of look down and they don't find anything. I'm imagining if they have this cab with the sticker or even with the mold, they're going to touch it. They're going to think that like if I press that button, that's going to be the coin. Now, all of us that have had Arcade1up cabinets for a really long time, we know that we press the button at the top for the coin. But imagine if it was never that way. Imagine if it was more like the original arcades. Maybe it doesn't take coins, but you could press the button. Now, I'm sure some people will say that's a mod you can do, but you know what would be cool? Is if you didn't have to mod it. Imagine if it just came that way. That would be cool. That would be better. So take a look at the Killer Instinct arcade cabinet. This one has not yet come out, but this one does have molded plastic, so you can feel and touch the front of it. It's going to look real. I think you're doing something right on this cabinet because the cabinet has a unique design, a unique shape. I believe it doesn't have the line of sight issues because the screen is tilted back a little bit more in the shape of it. It may. We'll have to see. But right now, so far, I think the Killer Instinct, you're doing something right. Space Ace arcade cabinet. Let's look at this one in the Dragon's Lair. Let's talk about Dragon's Lair together. I think you're doing something right here. I don't see... That's a unique shape. It looks more like the original. It's not going to have any line of sight issues. That's awesome. That's really, really cool. But what's up with this? You know, you guys presented us, you know, this thing with the phone, and you like put your phone there for the... Just put a screen on it. Just everyone's going to buy it if you just put a screen on it. Just put a screen behind there and charge a little more. Figure it out, guys. Like, there's so much cost going up and all these other things. Maybe you're going to have to raise the price anyway. Check and see if you can just put the screen on, because literally everyone's asking for it. And if you don't do it at this point, I think some people are just not going to buy because you didn't give them what they want. So that's what I wanted to talk about today. But let's talk to you. If you're on the replay watching this, comment down below. Let me know what you think about these cabinets, what they did right and what they did wrong. And we're going to switch over to the live stream. We're going to get audience feedback, you know, on what they think Arcade1up is doing right and what Arcade1up is doing wrong, and hang out here and hear what they have to say. So, and here we go. We're going to start off. I think I know what's going on with this tool now, by the way. Sometimes it does that. I had it running for a while, and I just need to reauthorize it. So I think I need an extra little bit of code in there that like automatically refreshes the token. But this will take just 1 second. It's going to refresh, and we're going to get what people are saying here. So we got what is it? So what they're doing right and what they're doing wrong. So Brad O'Connell says button mapping is all wrong on Missile Command. So talking about the Atari Legacy, he is complaining that one of the things that they're not doing perfect on the new Atari Legacy, the one, the Tempest cabinet, is the button mapping is wrong on Missile Command. So shame on them. So Mike Ammon is saying the monitor is wrong. I think what he's referring to is that Tempest is a vertical game, but they put the monitor in the horizontal position. For me, I think this is fine because I have the 12-in-1, and because the screen is black, and probably even better on the Tempest cab because that monitor has better black lighting on it. It'll blend in a lot better. But I understand a lot of people would want to make it more pure, and I totally get that. I think if they went with a vertical monitor, right, then the other games would suffer, because then the other games would be horizontal inside a vertical display. So I think they had to make a choice. Yeah, and Zero Hero is saying the same. Something wrong. The screen should be vertical. And those of you that joined it early in the stream, I think I may have lost your message. So if you're saying, hey, I skipped you and I said something right or wrong, I apologize because I had to hit refresh in the tool, and I think it lost your early chat. Apologize, but mention that again, and we'll get to you. So, again, Brad O'Connell, they do not have the right button mapping according to Keon and Glenn on the Atari. And Tad Simmons is saying, right, except the phone thing. So the phone thing with the Dragon's Lair, that's something they could do better. But they got the unique controls, the unique shape. I don't think there's going to have any line of sight issues. And Mike Ammon again is caught by the filter. It says, right, you are right, but other cabinets don't need a stool. That's right. So I play most of my games without a stool, but I do have a stool. And the Partycade I'll use a stool on. But that's just because like the way like on the Partycade, the Wallcade, you're just like right up against the screen and you're kind of like looking down, and you can get away with playing for like 15 minutes. But if you want to play longer, you probably want to sit down, and you need a stool for that. So Nia Severa says molded coin door, 1UP right, looking to MVSX and bringing out a molded coin door. So that's the thing. Like, I think hopefully we'll see more molded coin doors. So if you look at the MVSX from Unico, it had a molded coin door, but right on the front between the speakers. It was just like really tiny, but if you like zoom in with your eyes, you get like 2 inches from it. It really does look like a coin door. They just needed to make it a lot bigger. Let's see. Art Davis is saying they better get Killer Instinct right. And wrong. Don Chaffee says worst communication in the business. So Arcade1up really needs to increase in their communication, Don is saying. So Neo Severa is saying 1UP right, milking the licenses and utilizing real estate with artwork. That's another thing that's really interesting. I did want to bring that up today, and I 100% agree to you. If you compare what they're giving us and what the customer wants, that is different. So, for example, let's say hypothetically they come out with Simpsons. They did this with Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, right? Teenage Mutant Turtles was all Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle themed. And that's fine, but if you keep on coming out with 4 players and they're all beat 'em ups, at a certain point I'm going to say, can't I just have like one beat 'em up? And it's weird. How are you going to do that? Like, I honestly feel that Arcade1up could come out with a multicade of the genre. It's like, give me a 4-player killer arcade, right? Throw all the 4-player games in it. Throw Turtles in it. Throw Simpsons in it. And maybe it's a mashup of artwork. Maybe you can get away with that. I think, I don't know. Maybe I'm bad at business, but I want to say, like, let's say you have to give 10% of all sales to the owner of the IP. Just throwing it out there. Couldn't you sell way more cabs if you did you get Turtles, you get Simpsons, you get Sunset Rider, you get 4-player X-Men, you get a ton of those games, and maybe it is a mashup, and maybe I'm way wrong. Maybe, like, I'm an idiot. But imagine if you could there's going to be some people that only buy Simpsons, that only buy Turtles, that only buy, like a Sunset Riders, and maybe there's some people that buy it all. But if you make one massive cabinet that is perfect to that genre, you're going to get more people to buy all of that. I don't know. Maybe I'm way off. But I've heard so many people say that's what they want. Could you take like Simpsons and mash up other AAA titles on it, not give us secondary titles on the other ones? So Glass Babies is saying, I like the side artwork, one of the best qualities. My family's saying, what they are doing right is improving for the most part. I feel they come a long way since the beginning. Totally agree. They've totally come a long way, but I still think there's room for improvement, and that's why we're having this conversation. And don't hold back, guys. If you want to say something controversial about it, or you disagree with what I'm saying, I was thinking about later today, we're gonna change the filter to agree or disagree. Like, I agree with you about this, but I disagree with you about that. Let's have a conversation about it. It doesn't have to be a controversy just because you disagree. It's called a conversation, not a conflict. So Tony C is saying wrong. No Volcano first player, second player buttons on the Atari Legacy. I don't know. Maybe they did that to save cost. I'm not sure. So wrong. Making a prototype and play the damn thing before you sent it out. So Zero Hero may have just got it right on the money right there, because that's what it appears is happening. It appears is happening that they've optimized their format where they have some QA people that are testing the software, and they were getting some of that wrong in the past, and it seems like they're doing really well now. Not very many glitches, not very many problems when it comes to the software. But why not make a prototype? Did you make a prototype, and did you send it to people? And why didn't they catch the line of sight issues? Because a lot of people are complaining that the cabinets are shorter and the marquee sticks out, and then they can't see the game. They have to buy a stool. And some people have even argued that it's almost like you're doing it so we have to buy stools, and that's not cool. That's not cool. You better not have done that on purpose. Like, hopefully it was just like, hey, we modeled this all in a 3D modeling, and we just didn't test the prototype. Sorry, our bad. So what they're doing right, Wi-Fi. And we'll see. I'm really interested to see if they may do Wi-Fi even on non-live cabinets. Is that a thing? I don't know. Maybe they do a little bit more high score. Maybe not every cabinet has to have a live feature to be able to get Wi-Fi. We'll see in the future what they're doing. Deputy Van Halen says the riser is wrong on the Namco Legacy Pac-Man riser. Why not make the side yellow on the riser? I'd like to see the riser be an extension of the side art, like the Tempest artwork. Thank you, Deputy Van Halen. Absolutely, this is accurate. Like, most people have said about how great it is that the Tempest cabinet, the artwork just flows right in from. They did it right, and where that's possible, they definitely want to do it. And where it's not possible, you don't want to clash. And I think what's happening sometimes is people have said, like, even the let's pull it up real quick. Deputy, thank you so much for bringing up a great topic. I'm going to switch over real quick to the other tab here and show everyone what we're talking about here. So you look at these risers, and some people look at this Atari. Look, it just flows right into it, right? And if you go like to the 40th anniversary, some people say it looks like an incompleted. Oh my gosh, why is it a Rubik's Cube, right? A Rubik's Cube that's just like one block off from finishing. It's like, why isn't it gray on the side, but, and then black in the center? I don't know. They may have just thought that this looked better, but a lot of people have complained about that. I think that's what you're talking about, Deputy Van Halen. So let's jump right back into the community feedback. And so Zero Hero says, wrong. Maybe they should compare the 1-up with the original cabinet and make it look right. That would be awesome. That's what I'm saying. The closer they can get away, the further they can get away from thinking that we want the cabinet to look like an Arcade 1-up. Like the brand, like your branding matters, doesn't matter. I'm sure I'm upsetting someone within the company that's like, hey man, that's my design. Yeah. I'm not dude, we're good. What I'm saying is, you didn't design that artwork while I was a child. That's why I have no connection to it. But if you make the cabinet look more like something I have a connection to with my child, it will make me cry. I'm sorry, you guy over there, Jerry, the other company that does a lot of their designs. Your designs don't make me cry, but the ones that you're creating, bringing back from the dead from the 80s, those make me emotional. Make those cabinets more replica, and I'll buy all of them. Like, we'll buy all of them. We're your sharks. We're telling you. Just do it right. So 1-up, best licenses. Agree. So that's what they're doing right. Wrong. Everyone wants better buttons. Thank you, Glass Baby, for bringing this up. I want to say this, and I'm going to try to make it short. Here's the thing with buttons. You don't need Sanwa brand or HAP buttons if the scenario is the price is too much. If that's the case and it's never going to happen, put that off the table. We don't need name brand. It is my understanding that Arcade1up uses the Bayo Lane brand for buttons and sticks. Okay. Who else uses Bayo Lanes? It is my understanding, and maybe I'm incorrect. Maybe you at Arcade1up or the various companies know better, but it's my understanding that IR Arcade, not even the Sanwa style IR Arcades, we're talking about the standard IR Arcade and the standard AtGames, even the Legends Gamer Pro, even the Legends Gamer Mini uses Bayo Lane branded buttons and sticks. Comment down below if you're a professional and you know I'm wrong, but that's my understanding, because when I look at it, I'm like, this looks like Bayo Lane, right? They are cloned Sanwa HAP style. It's basically non-branded, inexpensive buttons and sticks. It's my understanding that Arcade1up also uses that brand, but they use a lower quality. Like, go to that same supplier and be like, hey, can you send us like the same ones that you send to every other home arcade, right? Let us play with that one. Oh, that one's not as expensive as Sanwa. No one's swapping out the buttons on the IR Arcade. No one's swapping out the sticks on the AtGames. I mean, the AtGames Mini is $99 right now, right? And it has really good sticks on it. You put that on your fighting games, people are going to love it. You don't need to put that on your Pac-Man. Like, go ahead. Use the cheaper buttons and sticks on the Pac-Man. I'll still buy it. Probably a lot of people will too. But your fighting games. And I don't care. I don't care that you hired Justin Wong. And Justin Wong is like, I'm a professional at all these fighting games and these sticks are fine. You know what? He's a professional. I'm not. We all suck at games. We like the higher quality version. You don't hire an expert that can pull off any move with any stick and say these are fine, and that all the other people out there that can't pull off the moves just suck. Yeah, they suck. They're not as good as you, Justin. That doesn't give you a grant to be able, like, the people have spoken. They want better buttons. Just do it. Come on. Get over yourself. Okay. Sorry for the rant, but it needs to be said. If loving you is wrong, I don't want to be right, according to Scott. Thank you. Arcade1up, what they're doing right. Licenses, for better or worse, John D's job is secure. Good point. So Arcade1up, what they're doing right. Unique controls like Star Wars, Outrun, Buck Hunter, and all online enabled games. Very true. Brad is also saying Arcade1up, Code Mystic developed games. It seems like everything that Code Mystics... Hey, I closed the ring. Pretty good. It seems like everything that Code Mystics puts their hands on so far has done pretty well. Paul is saying what's right is titles that appeal to multiple generation of gamers. Okay. And Kyle said something really, really cool that Brad said he was right about. So Scott is saying the lack of routine communication is wrong. This is true. Now, you think you're a big company and maybe you don't have to communicate enough. But Arcade1up, come on. You got to get out some little more community posts and let us know what's going on. Where you can, share the information. It would mean a lot to us. And even if John D made a post in the Facebook group that just simply said, hey guys, I love you, doing great. Maybe a quick little video on Facebook that's like, hey guys, I've been really busy. Cool stuff is coming out in the next couple months. Love you. Talk to you later. That would be great. At least we hear something from those people there. So Paul is saying that using control ports as filler in titles is something they're doing wrong. Now, this is interesting. I think that they should do that more as an Easter egg. Like for example, if a new cabinet comes out and it doesn't matter how many games it has, 3 or 4 games. Like let's say the X-Men, and they throw a few more X-Men console games on there as an Easter egg. They don't even put it on the... That's cool. That's cool, right? But like, I think he's saying is like, hey, this comes with 4 games and one's a console. I can see that. Before, John was saying like, hey, it was a part of the theme on one of the cabinets. I think it was like X-Men versus Street Fighter had one of the games that was console games. So that was kind of, but I think Paul is saying, and I agree with you if this is what you're saying, like, don't make that a habit. Don't sell us arcade ROMs, but actually give us some console ROMs. That's mean. One thing that's wrong from Paul is like that pack stick. That was wrong. So wrong. I don't like the riser art on the X-Men cab. Okay, Glass, that's interesting. So Doug is saying one thing they're doing wrong is stools are on clearance at Walmart. Maybe you're right. And then they did the line of sight on purpose. So I think some of the deals that are going on Walmart, which by the way, those deals are still happening. I made a video on this before, and there's other YouTubers that have done as well. We want to make it perfectly clear that if you cannot find a deal in your area from the Walmart app, try again. Because I made a video, and I was like, I don't have any deals. I checked today, there is a deal. There is a deal. And I'm going to tell you about it in a little bit, and I'm going to do a poll, and if the poll says I should go buy it, I'm going to buy it. I'm going to go get it. So we'll come to that in a little bit. So something that they're doing right, the light up marquees, yep. Chris is saying 4-player wrong, as it takes up too much real estate. And you could maybe do a TMNT in a Simpsons cab like a Miss Pac-Man Galaga, then both would be on it. So that would be... Yeah, I agree with a lot of what you're saying. I currently don't have a 4-player game because of the real estate it takes up. But I am slowly taking over the house, so I have expanded a little bit of more rooms, so we'll see. But I generally know what you're talking about. Something that Arcade1up is doing wrong is they put John D in a cage. Free John D, according to Zero Hero. And Mark is saying... one thing that they're doing wrong is there's no Donkey Kong cabinet. And Punk Monica, he says wrong. Panel with all the game logos or other side a coin door. Let us choose. That's a cool idea. Like they just print both. And when it comes, you flip it one way or the other and you can decide. Okay, so if they did that, that means I think they would have to have a sticker because I don't think you can do a mold on one side. Because the mold is going to have a screw to hold the mold in place. So I don't think you can do stickers on the other side. So they could do double-sided stickers. So they got sticker on one side, and you flip it over. That's a cool idea. I don't think I've actually heard anyone say that. So Zero Hero says, wrong. Give me a bucket seat to go with a driving cab. Okay. So if you're just joining, what we're doing is right or wrong. I went on a big rant of all these things that Arcade1up was doing right and wrong. If you missed that, definitely catch up later. After the stream, you can watch it over again and catch up to where you just joined. But we're looking for the keyword things that Arcade1up is doing right, and right is a keyword, and also the word wrong is a keyword. So you type a sentence that has either the word wrong in it or the word right, and we're going to be reading it as a community and discussing it. So Brian Workman is saying something that Arcade1up is doing wrong. You have us hooked. Now we want better. Give us better CAGs, 6 foot, no more risers, bigger screens, 20-inch for a single player, 27 for a versus cab, 32 for a 4-player. Give us better buttons. Brian, my man, that is a good roadmap right there. I would be all into that if that's the roadmap. So Bob is saying what they're doing wrong is there's no Wi-Fi leaderboards in Pinball. Yeah, that'd be really cool if they added that. Hopefully they do the upgrade kit, or maybe the version 2, they just kill it on the version 2. If they kill it on the version 2, that would be awesome. Yeah, give us the Wi-Fi leaderboard. I have to be honest, like I was watching Michael B. the Game Genie last night, looking at the legends, and I was like, man, he's having fun. He's doing competition with his friends. I'm like, I might have to get me one because that looks really cool. Doing the online leaderboard, going back and forth with the community. Okay. So Don is saying, oh wait, this guy is saying, Fahari is saying, what is Arcade1up doing right? Marvel versus Capcom. Marvel versus Capcom is the perfect cab, and this dude loves his MVC. Don is saying, thank you so much for being my first member, Don. He says, wrong. Ugly design cabinets, they won't make new customers. Oh, the designer of the cabinets. Yeah, the shape. I think he's talking about the shape. One thing they're doing right, according to, is the volume control, the speakers on top. Yeah, I think they fixed that mistake early on. It used to be just a switch that was off, loud and louder. Now it's like this nice little slider you hold down and it kind of lowers the volume and increases the volume to put the speakers on the top. That's something that they're doing right, and that's pretty good. So the Reel says one thing they're doing right is the online cabinet with head-to-head gameplay. Taunt 760 is like the emulation is what they're doing right. Ryan Jason's like, wrong. What they're doing wrong? No slant. I can't. I'm pretty sure that was a Zohar hashtag created. But yeah, I really hope they kind of go more with the slant. And if you guys saw CES 2020, there was a leak just before CES, and it was of a Pac-Man 40th that looked just like the original, where the slant of the control panel went right in to the monitor. It looked beautiful. I hope they come out with that eventually. Give it to us now. Okay, wrong. They keep promises on firmware updates and features. That's right. There were several cabinets that they talked about fixing. I think it was the Pac-Man cabinet. They even said the 40th anniversary Pac-Man cabinet would eventually get a firmware update that would allow me to be able to turn off the filtering that it has on it. Maybe add scan lines. Maybe add fast mode. I don't know about you, but I didn't ever see it come out. So come on. Keep your promises. So Chad is saying what they're doing wrong was giving up on Mortal Kombat. So I think they're going to come out with another Mortal Kombat later. I really do. So hopefully we'll see more Mortal Kombats. So Glass Babies says, right, the game selection in the Legacy cabinets, maybe 1 or 2 less Street Fighters on it. So more variety on the Capcom Legacy Edition. They put maybe too many Street Fighters. I could see that. I've heard some people mention that. And Taunt is saying, hold on, one thing that they're doing wrong. Let me see if I'm... Yeah, he says one thing they're doing wrong is the second 4-player Sega title. No second 4-player Sega title on the Golden Axe cab. Right, so the Golden Axe cab, is that right? It only had one title. I didn't get it. Is that right? All the other games are non-4-player. And so Paul is saying wrong. Time for announcement to be released seems too long. We want to keep things going, right? That's what you're saying. So we're going to look at the chat here. So let me scroll up here. I think I lost some of the... We need more help from the community for beta testing to get new games correctly. Yeah, I mean... I think they've done pretty good on that recently. I've heard, the emulation is pretty good, and those UI menus look really, really good. There's a lot of like options that are easy to use, so I think they're doing pretty good. But it was that shape of the cabinet. So let's switch to agree or disagree. So maybe you are in the live stream and you've seen other people, or have you heard me say something and you disagree with it. So type in the word disagree and then what you disagree with, something, and then we can kind of liven up the conversation here. Anything that we've chatted about that you think. So Al is saying he can't believe you don't have the AtGames Legends Pinball. I don't have the AtGames Legends Pinball. I haven't had an opportunity to buy one. I've been busy, and I think the new one is Wednesday. I'll see if I can get in on that. But I just don't. So, I mean, I have the Legends Ultimate, but yeah, I don't have anything else. So one thing I wanted to tell you guys while I have you here, and we can do some more live chats if you want, but I was able to see, we're going to do a 0-1 real quick. Give me a 0 if you're like, nope, don't do it. Give me a 1 if you think I should. So in my Walmart app, there is an NBA Jam. I never bought NBA Jam. But the NBA Jam is available in my area for $99. I'm thinking like literally after the stream, I either let it go or I go pick it up. It's $100. Tell me what you think. Give me a 0 if you're like, nope, just let that deal go. Let some other person get it. Or give me a 1 if you're like, you need to go get that deal. Go get that deal, Justin. And we'll let that survey a little warm up for a little bit, and we'll come back to it in a second. So what else you guys, let's see, Rainwater with his disagree. Let's see if I can find that. So Rainwater disagrees with, what do you disagree with? You should care that you are not overlapping times with other popular scheduled weekly shows that your audience probably watches. I should care. Wow, Rainwater, you should care. Okay, I will take that advice. The reason why I haven't cared is because there are certain shows that I've unsubscribed from because of the way they've treated me. They treated me very poorly, so I literally don't know what's going on. But maybe I should be the bigger man and start subscribing and chatting, and I will be a part of all of those streams. So then it's not possible for me to stream at the same time as other people because I'll be a part of that community as well. But some of the things that's been said to me or about me to other people have been really bad. I don't like to talk about it, but anyway. So Devil Waldo says, disagree. A lot of our issues as a community comes from thinking and treating them as if they were arcade company suppliers. They are a collectible company and produce their products accordingly. That is interesting. Now, I do agree that Arcade1up sees themselves as a collectible company. Their marketing strategy is very much in the vein of collectibles. And so I guess that makes sense. I mean, that's how they market. So maybe we should think of them that way. And if we did think of them as collectibles, then maybe we wouldn't complain. But at the same time, there's a lot of people that are saying that they bought something and then they expected the quality to be similar to the previous ones that they bought. But then some of the newer cabinets lowered their standards of quality. So, and then Zero Hero says, disagree. Just do you, Justin, and let them do you? What? So I'm going to do you, Justin, and let them do you? What does that mean? Let's see. So let's go back to that custom poll and see what we got. I got 83% says I need to pick up that NBA Jam cabinet. And 17% say, that I shouldn't. I think that means I should go try. It's an overwhelming amount of people that says I should try to get the NBA Jam cabinet. So, yeah. Let's see. Rainwater is right. You guys overlap other shows, and it's unfortunate. You don't need to like them, but you also don't need to compete. So, Paul, just to be completely, open, I never thought I was competing. I just went live when I went live. There's never been a time, ever, that I've ever looked that someone else was live and then scheduled my show accordingly. So is it competition if I just, like, think about it. Like, there's companies out there that just make their products. They make their products. And then there's this other company that makes their products too. And you as the audience are like, you guys are competing. But it wasn't my intention to compete. It was never my intention to compete on 1UP Weekly. You know, I've described this before, that on Sunday I had doggy training lessons, so we needed to move our schedule to another day. Kim works Friday. My wife is busy doing things with my daughter on Friday, so Friday was our natural timing that would work. And then people complained that we were cutting into other shows, but like, I guess you guys are right. Look, you guys are the community. This is a home arcade community. It's maybe we've been looking at it as more like YouTube as a whole. Like, Bob is a great friend of mine from RetroRGB. If he goes live and I go live at the same time, nobody cares. Scarlet Sprite, if he goes live, if Wicked Gamer goes live, if all these other YouTubers go live, no one complains. But if it's someone else in the similar space, then we should all just like, should someone just publish a schedule and be like, okay, here's the schedule. So what are we, a channel now? So it's like we're all NBC. So I got my show here and you got your show here and mine comes after. I guess that's what we're supposed to do. Zohar, and I don't even know if it's no, he is the real Zohar because he has the member icon. He goes, sorry, one comment and I'm out. Arcade1up should have less secrets and more transparency. 1UP should tell us exactly what's coming out and ask customers exactly what they want to see. Less secrets. Yep, and yes, that's him. One comment and he's out. So Bill Maddox says, who cares about other channels? Robo says, disagree. Don't let others dictate when your show goes live. If they have a problem, let them change their time. Well, see, it's funny because I don't know what to do now because, like, it's out in the open. You guys asked me in here, and I never complain about them going live. So if they're the complainer, like, never once have I ever said, oh my God, someone else is live while I'm live. Hey, everybody in the chat, you should go tell them that there's, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. It just seems like a double standard. Like, why is the hate coming this way? Because if someone else moves their time into Sunday, should I then complain that, hey, if I make a whole bunch of videos about showing a screen like this and this tool that I worked really hard on, and then someone else says, hey, look, go to a Google form and you can do the same thing. You don't need to, you don't need to go to 1UP Weekly. You don't need to go to Justin. I'll just do the same thing. Should I not complain about that? Maybe I should complain. Maybe I should be like, hey, that was my thing. You just ripped me off. Like, where does it end? Like, should we all just get along, or should we all, like, I don't know. He's competing with me now. Freaking P-Dubs is competing with me on his show, trying to do the thing that I created. Like, no one else was doing this. So what's going on with that? Like, and maybe you're going to leave now and unsubscribe because I'm hating on a content creator. Like, you guys brought it up. It's dumb. I'm leaving, guys. See you guys. Have a good day.